What's up, YouTube?
Hey y'all. Welcome back to another video. So today's video, as you can see from the title, we are answering all of your questions. So we put in the community tab, like, what do y'all want to know? We also put it on our Instagram page. So if you aren't following our Instagram page, which is Love the Case, make sure you're following us so that you can see when we post stuff.
Yeah. So we got some really good questions from both. Some of them were similar questions, so we'll try to go through all of them, and then give y'all the spiel, the real deal, holy feel.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and give y'all a little question or whatever. So honestly, like I said, some of these questions are questions that y'all been asking us. So I guess y'all finally getting y'all answers. All right, let's go from the bottom to the top. All right, the first question said, who said I love you first?
It was definitely T.
It was me. I said I love you first. We were having an argument, and I was like, if I didn't love you, I'd be done with you.
Yeah.
So I said it first, but it was...
I'm gonna say this: a lot of our moments that y'all ask about are not like, they not like some magical, like crazy moment, like I told you I love you under the stars, or like on a nice date. It's just like, whew,
Yeah,
it's all crazy. So it all went down, but she told me first. I probably wouldn't have said it just because of just who I am, but she said it. I felt the same way, and I knew I felt the same way, but I'm glad she told me.
and she told me afterwards. She told me in the response message, you know how those text arguments go.
And we still argue.
And we continue to argue. Just brush past that. Like, okay, I acknowledge, but what was it? Next question.
The next question says, who made the first move? I don't really know.
I don't really understand what y'all mean by that. Like, moving what? Like, who initiated, like, a date? Or, like, what do y'all mean? Who made the first move?
Because if we say who asked who out on the first date, it was me.
Yeah.
So, I'm not very sure. If that's what you're referring to, then the answer is me. I asked T out, and at first she told me no because I never dated girls, but then she said yeah, and here we are.
Yeah, I told them no.
So it's all good.
Okay, this next question says, how did you meet? A full video on that. Y'all asked this question so much. How did we meet? Y'all, it's not like a good, like Em said, it's not like a good, like, fairy tale story. Like, I ran into her, like, she became my best friend, we fell in love, it was romantic, it was everything we ever dreamed of. It wasn't. It was a very...
It was just by, like,
difficult story. So, the first time we ever met, which is so weird, it's like you always see things come full circle, right? So when I first moved to Dallas, I didn't know anybody. I moved here in 2016. I didn't know anybody, and I was looking for friends, and this app called Bumble. So now I've heard that the Bumble has evolved now. It involves like dating and business and all this stuff now. But initially when Bumble first came out, or when I first knew about Bumble, it was to meet up with friends. So I used to go to like meetups off of Bumble, like girl group meetups, and like I've actually met a good amount of the friends that I have now off of there. And in 2016, me and Eb met on Bumble, and we were supposed to like hang out and like go to one of like girl groups things together, but
we never did.
We never met. And so then like 2 years later in 2018, then we met again. So
yeah, I mean, we just happened to reconnect. She commented on something that I had posted, and then she asked me, "Do I want to hang out?" We did, and then y'all know what happened after that.
Well, no. you asked me if I wanted to hang out, and then y'all know,
Oh, yeah.
y'all watch the hangout story or whatever. If not, I'll link it.
Yeah.
But whatever, yeah. So it wasn't like, ooh.
Nah, it wasn't nothing crazy. It wasn't like on some like, hey, let's be together type stuff. It was just like on some just random like, hey, you're new here. I was looking for, just to be honest, some black friends.
Y'all, hold on. Y'all hear that? That's Nova. Nova playing with her ball. Give me the ball, mama. She playing with her ball, so Elle took the ball from her. Now she just playing with her teddy bear.
I'm sorry, I don't have it. I'm not gonna throw it. Yeah, but
yeah, that's how we met.
I don't think it deserves a whole video, but that answers the question. Just looking for friends out in the DFW. I stay out in a small part. There's nobody to hang out with out here. So we finally linked up, and the rest y'all have heard.
Yeah, she you know, I mean, like I said, I got a lot of friends off of Bumble now, and it just so happened that we never like linked up, but we also was living in different parts of the city, which we still were when we finally did link up. But yeah, that's it. That's how we met. What else? All right. The next one said, we gotta proofread when we type questions, guys. This says, what is the act or word you dislike when your partner says? So I'm assuming you mean like, what is something that she does or says that I don't like? So for me, no. The one thing she say that I do not like. What is it? And she would like, give me some sugar.
No.
I hate it so much.
I don't even say it that often though.
She used to say it all the time. And it used to grind my gears, like the old folks say. But
I don't even really say it.
Eb used to say, "Oh, give me some sugar." No. And I didn't like it, so I refused. I hated it. She says it every now and then now, but she used to say it all the time. Like, I don't know. I'm like, she's like an old lady trapped in a young person body.
I don't know.
That's something I say.
I don't. Oh. She always tell me that she gone. She'll never say it out loud, but she mumble it to me. She be like, you better stop.
So when she be irritating me, I be like, ooh. So she know what I'm saying, but
she don't want these. She don't want these problems. I don't know why she always trying to act like she want to squirrel. I'm like, you ain't gonna do nothing, son.
Okay. The next question says, who will carry the first kid?
First. Oh, baby.
I will carry the first kid, hopefully, if the Lord says the same.
And I will if all else fails.
So, and we made a video on that. I'll link that too. On when we started our baby journey, we have started the baby journey of like tracking my ovulation and stuff. So I will do that. The next question is very similar.
Do you plan on having kids? And if you don't, mind me asking, who will carry the child? T.
Yes, we do plan on having kids. Yes, we plan on having kids. Yes, we plan on having kids. If the Lord says the same, we plan on having kids. The next says, how old is your relationship from dating till now? From the day that Ep asked me to be her girlfriend. From the day that Ep asked me to be her girlfriend until now.
Do you even know? You'd be like, wait a minute. Monday, Tuesday.
She asked me to be her girlfriend October 2019. And this is a year. So it's like
2 years. It's
not 2 years. It's like a year and 6 months. It's October 2019 because last year would have been a year. Last October was a year. And then till now it's like 7-8 months.
Yeah.
So that's like officially when we started dating till now.
Can you confess something to your partner that you've been holding back? I got nothing. I just told you the last thing when we was out on our trip, how I felt. I think we pretty much talk about whatever. I don't have anything unless you got something you need to tell the club.
I'm having 2 kids. That's something I need to secretly confess.
I got no answer.
Okay. The next question. What is the one thing you do that you love the most about each other?
For me, T always look out for me. Like on some real stuff. Like sometimes I don't think about it. Like my health. Like she worry about stuff that sometimes I'm just like ain't a big deal. She'll go ahead and initiate appointments. Make sure that I'm okay. So she always trying to make sure that I'm good. And whether it's food for work, I got what I need while I'm at work. She'll check to make sure I'm good. So like I appreciate those things. It's like the little stuff, like stuff that sometimes I don't think about. She got my back. And if I need her to do something and I can't go do it, she'll definitely do it.
And mine is kind of similar. She got my back. Like, it's a lot of stuff that I try to do. Y'all, Nova just stole her little bag of treats out the thing and just trotting away with it like she's supposed to have it. She just took it. Look at her little treats. Is it treats? Oh, it's a raw meat.
It's a food. Get in.
I'm gonna give her one. But she just been looking at the bag like she just wanted it so bad. Oh, and I just need it so bad. She's so funny. And then she just be running with it like she just supposed to have it. But yeah, same thing. Like there's a lot of stuff that I do. There's a lot of stuff that I do like behind the scenes. Like I have my hands in a lot of different things, and it like really supports me in my dreams of like everything that I do. I can be like, I'm going to walk on the moon next week, and she'd be like, okay, baby, we'll make it happen. You know. So that's something that I love about her. Like I know that I'm supported, and she's gonna have my back no matter what.
Can you try singing to your partner? I hate to do this, but I sound terrible, so I can do it. I just will not do it on camera.
Oh, you won't? I just knew she was about to break out her song.
Nah.
I knew she was. I'm so shocked, y'all. I'm saying all the time. I just knew she was about to break out her song.
I was like, I'll definitely sing to her, and she know that. But I'm definitely not gonna be embarrassed.
I just knew it.
And I can't sing without the music. So
I just knew she was about to break out her song. We can't
get copyrighted. I am not an acapella singer, and I told y'all that once before. I am more so a shower or a car concert. That's how I get down.
Look at her. She's looking for these snacks, y'all. Look at her. Say hi. Say hi, guys. Say hi, guys. Say hi, mamas. Say hi, mamas. Y'all, look how big Nova got. Look how big my girl is. Ooh. She's a big old girl. Y'all remember she was just a little baby. Nova.
too.
Okay, get down, mamas.
Come here.
All right. The next question. It's not really a question for us, honestly. I don't know, but okay. So, do you think that cosplaying is socially acceptable? For me, I say yes because I personally know people who cosplay. I like anime. I don't find nothing wrong with it. Okay.
Do you feel you need to spice up / loosen up a bit in your marriage?
Personally for me, because I'm such like a no mamas. I'm such like a uber focused like on work and all that type of person. I could loosen up some, but we have fun. Like I think we've more so recently have been like trying to have more fun. Because I know like me, I'm like always like I can be super stressed out, and Elle too. Like she be stressed the heck out like when it's time for her to be at work and stuff. So we definitely have been focusing a lot on trying to like have more fun and like not just be stuck in the house and be stressed out. Cause last year was hard for us just being in the house, being stressed out about everything. So we're definitely focusing on that a little bit.
But I mean, we just got married like just a little bit ago, so I mean, we good. So it's how I feel. I mean, like she said, we be working, but we still make time for each other. We spend a lot of time together, so I think we good in that department.
So when you first met, did you know whether any of you were into women or you just got talking and later found out? When we first met, yes, Eb knew that I was a lesbian. Because I am, even when meeting friends, I don't ever want someone to like assume that I'm trying to like come on to them or like assume, you know, like they find out later and they be like, oh, like this girl ain't telling me. You know, people have different reactions. You never know people's reactions. So I kind of try and slip that in before, not even slip it in. Like I make it a part of the conversation before I ever meet up with somebody first to face if I've met them online, or I make sure that they follow me enough or have seen enough to where they know. I don't, other than when I meet people in person, because like when I met Kiki, she didn't know because we met at work. But meeting people, like you never want to just meet a girl like as a friend online and then meet up and then they know, because then they be like feeling weird, like, oh man, do she think this a date? Like, you know, like girls have that weird thing about like every gay girl wants them. They don't. But so yeah, it was definitely known that I was a lesbian when we first met.
How do you guys feel about being married? I'll say I feel like it's not different. I mean, we got a new title, but honestly, like we was already staying together. We were already making moves, so I feel like nothing has really changed. So
yeah, yeah. I mean, and a lot of people ask me that, like, as soon as we got married, how do you feel? How do you feel? And I was just like, exhausted. But I'm like, I feel the same. I'm like, we had our life together. We were already making plans together. We were already pushing forward in plans. Yes, now we are a little bit more diligent and I have a little bit more, I'm not gonna say power, but power. Cause like Eb don't like to like make herself appointments and stuff like that. And now I can call and be like, hey, I'm making an appointment for her. Hey, like I'm going to do this, like doctor's appointment, dentist appointment, everything, because I'm gonna wait on her. So I can do those things now. So, but other than that, like I feel like majority of the things,
yeah, it was already rocking.
it was, you know, it was kind of the same.
Yeah.
But I mean, I enjoy being married. I've always said I was meant to be a wife. I'm not meant to just be like for the streets.
She just like somebody. She like for me to say, "Oh, then this is my wife," and is.
I just like for somebody to be able to put my leg on at night.
every time, bro. She whoops my ass at night. God, dog.
Can we get an update on baby plans? Do you still want kids? If you two don't have them, will that be okay too? Update. So we're gonna do a whole video on baby update. Yes, we are still planning on having kids. I'm gonna make that into a whole separate video because there's a lot more than like just for me to say in this one video. So we'll make a whole separate video about baby update. And then you say, if you two don't have them, will that be okay too? So actually, you want me to answer that? You answer it.
You can.
Okay, so before we officially were like together in a relationship, that was something that kind of was us fighting, bumping heads a lot, beating heads a lot, and kind of slowed down the process of us really being together because I want kids. I've always wanted kids. I don't imagine my life without kids. Whether that means that I'm going to have them naturally, my partner would have them, or I would adopt them. No matter which way it was to happen for me, I've always envisioned that for my life. And it was something that Eb never wanted. So it was like, for a while, it was like, we wouldn't be together. Why would we be together when we don't want the same thing? Because that's a big thing. Like I don't think that people can, and Ed used to be like, well, why can't you change your mind and just not want them? But I think that people who want kids, who grow up wanting kids, it's not easy for them to just be like, no, I don't want them anymore, because I thought about it. Like when she said it, I was like, you're right. She was like, everybody always says, why can't you change your mind? You need to change your mind. And she's like, well, why can't somebody else change their mind? And I thought about it, and I did. It took me a while, and I sat there and I really thought about it. I considered it, and I was like, I understand where you're coming from, and I tried for a while to imagine that side of my life without it, but I wouldn't feel fulfilled. And that's what she said. A lot of her other relationships went through that issue, but I was like, for me, there are some people who could go either way. They're like, oh, I want them, and I could live without them. I have friends like that. And I tried to imagine it, but I couldn't. So, we were at a crossroads for a while, but yeah.
We finally got it together. I mean, and I want to put this out there before someone says something rude. She did not make me change my mind. And
first of all, you cannot make someone change their mind about kids.
She didn't pressure me. We had a lot of hard conversations. Like, I feel like that is one of the things, and which I knew that before I even decided to pursue her, but for some reason I thought, you think you can get with somebody and, like maybe this is something we can work through. Initially, I was hoping that it didn't have to be me, but also too, I was never 100% a no. I didn't want to have to carry a kid. So when I was dating men, we had more of an issue because I was like, I don't want to do that. I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to carry a kid. I don't want to do that. If you have a kid, perfect. But I physically do not want to have a kid. I love kids. I work with kids every single day. So that's not the reason. A lot of people are like, oh, you don't want to have kids because you don't like kids. I was like, I work with kids and I give all of my time to other people's children. So I just want to be able to, do that, come home and then just relax. But we had conversations, and I've gotten older over the years. So even though I was still saying no, I've always had like a small, like you meet kids and you like, what? I wish I could have done something different in your life. If maybe I've had a kid at home, I've had those moments where I've thought that, like, oh, I should adopt a kid, I should do that. And I was just like, what? It's not worth me losing the person that I feel like is my person because I'm being stubborn. Like we talked about it. Hopefully, I don't have to carry, but I've even gotten to the point now where if I had to, I'm okay with it. So, because I want us to have a family, so at all costs, I will do it. But that's how we got there, so it works. We figured it out and we came to an understanding, and I'm glad we did because it was the best decision I could have made because I'm pretty sure she would assume said, you know what? Peace out. Story for another day. Sit down.
This question says, do you all play and feel really, really relaxed with each other all the time?
I play all day.
We play all day.
All day.
All day we play. And I think you have to. Like, I mean, you have to. We play all day. Honestly.
I mean, you gotta have fun. I mean, if you ain't having fun, then what you doing?
Yeah. We joke around. Y'all know, y'all have noticed Eb real goofy. And I don't know if I'm real goofy on camera, but we kind of real goofy together. So
that's my best friend.
Yeah, real bad. I don't.
Does T really love the hardest? I wouldn't say so. I think we love each other
The same.
equally.
I don't know where that come from, but I mean, I love hard, but Eb love hard too. So this next question is kind of specifically for me. Okay, it says, "What up, y'all?" So some of the followers want to know. T, assuming that you are Eb's first experience with a woman, not sure if you are, once you and Eb decided to be together, did you feel anxiety about what others would say or think? The black community often uses the phrase getting turned out. Did that have an effect on you or who you told about your relationship? So this is a 4-part question, so I'm going to answer this part first and then we'll keep going. To answer your question, yes. It was a big deal for me because I don't like for anybody to say, oh, you turned her out, you did this, you did that. I don't believe you can turn anybody out. I believe that people are curious. I believe that people are who they are and no one can force them to do anything. People always say, oh, you was turned out. No, she was like that before. They just acted on it with a particular person, right? And it did affect a lot who Eb told and who I even initially wanted to meet, if that made sense. Because it was just like, I don't ever want someone to be like, oh, because you married, this woman that you're in a relationship with, she's the person who turned you out. Like, you wouldn't be with women or you wouldn't be gay if you weren't with her. Like, she's the reason, and I had that a long time, like an issue with it. And it was one of the reasons why, like, initially I didn't want to date her. Because it's a big stigma. So yes, it did affect us. We got over it. We got past it, obviously. And we haven't had any issue with anybody saying that. Not to my knowledge. Excuse me. Thank you. The next part of this question says, T, knowing that Eb is just coming out, did you worry or have doubts about committing to her knowing that she hasn't had much experience being out or being with a woman? Yes. Very much so. It was very difficult for me. It was a very hard time for me. I am not used to being with people, with women. I was not used to being with a woman who was not out, who was not comfortable with the gay life, whose family didn't know. It was all very new for me, and it was not something that I honestly enjoyed. And Eb knows that. It was something I struggled with a lot because I've been out for a very long time. And going from, living a life of carefree gayness and then going to a life of now having to care about, like, okay, like this person doesn't know yet. Okay, then this person doesn't know yet. Oh, how does this person feel? And then also dealing with her emotions of being comfortable with it and being comfortable with people knowing. And it was a lot. It was very difficult. I'm not saying it was just difficult for me, but this question was for me. So I'm just saying it was difficult for both of us. But yes, it was difficult for me being an openly gay lesbian to being in a relationship that was kind of behind closed doors. So yes, it was late. It was hard for me. So yeah, I mean, I think I answered your question. But we got over it, obviously, because we're married. T and Eb, how did y'all go from possibly about to fight over Eb's car being missing to would you be my girlfriend?
It just took time. We got to know each other, and it was like a vibe that, you know, where I felt like it was different.
Feeling a kid.
She was cool. But also too, it took me a little bit to, like I said, to kind of like deal with my emotions. Like, are you really feeling what you think you're feeling? And just deciding not to be scared because it's different. So, but then we still had struggles after that. So, I mean, like I said, the story is not something that's whatever. It was a lot of, I feel like, heartache, pain to get to this point, and sometimes you guys want us to relive it. I mean, and like I said, just know that it was an uphill battle. We were on two different ends of the spectrums, you know. You know you like each other, but is it really the right thing for you personally and for your own mental health for both of us? And we were both on two different sides of it, you know, and but we're here, so that's all I can say.
Yeah.
The next question
It says, did you have to deal with ex-boyfriends trying to creep back into your life after finding out that you are now committed to a woman? If so, how did you deal with it?
I mean, a little bit. They weren't like outwardly saying that, but you know, somebody always want to know, like, why? What is it that I can't do for you? Like, why, like, what? Like, you ain't never give me a chance. Blah blah blah. You know, the same old, same old. With anybody that's in any relationship that you find out that they with somebody, it's just like you got to make that last minute attempt to kind of get in there. But I mean, nothing too crazy.
She's married. Get over it. Move on. Because I'm a little crazy. Yes, she's had issues. And how she did with it, she blocked they ass. Because you disrespectful. They be disrespectful.
A little bit.
So, blocked. Because men problem is they don't like to respect a relationship between two women. But you're going to respect this one.
Heard it there first.
Okay.
How accepting were your parents when you came out? Also, I'm kind of going through the height of the internalized homophobia. When does it end? And how do you just learn to love yourself?
The first part about how our parents were when we came out, we made a whole video on our coming out story, so I don't think we're really going to go into that one again because we went into it real deep in that story. Short story, my dad's fine, my mom's not. His parents are fine. If you want to know in depth, I'll link that down below so you can watch that story. Internalized homophobia, it ends at different ages. It ends at different times, at different parts of your life. It just comes to a point where you have to be okay with who you are, and that is time frame is different for everyone. Mine came when I was not in a relationship, when I was alone, when I was just okay. Like, I had tried so many times to date a man, and then I finally was okay with knowing that I was supposed to be with a woman. Okay. You just have to learn to love yourself. You have to be okay with yourself. You have to not listen to society and everything else that's going around you, and you just have to say, okay, this is who I am. If this is who I'm going to be, then I have to love myself, because if you can't, then no one else can.
And feeding off that, I mean, she found out early. I just got over mine, so I mean, it takes however long it takes, but sometimes if you have a good support system, then I feel like it can be easier for people. But I feel like, you know, I think my biggest struggle was, even after I told my parents, is hoping that it doesn't affect me at my job, and so trying to be careful doing those things. So I feel like sometimes people are out and okay with who they are, but sometimes depending on what they do as a profession, sometimes they still have to live in a box, if to say the least. But I mean, you got to do what you got to do for you, or it'll be definitely a downhill.
Yeah, it'll be a hard life.
Yeah.
What are some new things you two have learned about each other since being married? I would say something that I've learned about us. We spend a lot of time together, so I think that one thing that we've learned or are still learning is that it's okay to still have our separate times, because we spend so much of time together. And then, it's always good to like, and then you'd be like, oh.
Yeah, because I just started back going to the gym, and I never realized how much I missed it. Because I think at first I was like, dang, I'm trying to get home so we can kick it, and we ain't even doing nothing. But I was just trying to go. Like, I don't want to make any stops on the way home. I don't want to be late, So
Yeah.
now, we've been together for a while, so I'm kind of just like, okay, I want to get back into my routines. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only thing that I feel like you just learn how to still keep your own independence inside of a relationship, so that you don't lose yourself as well, and that you can kind of keep up with the things that you like to do. And I think that's healthy.
Yeah,
like, you have to be okay with your own crap, so that way if something ever was to happen, you don't lose all of that, your friends, your hobbies, and then sometimes you can do it together.
Yeah, because we do a lot together.
A lot.
The next one says, beautiful picture. Thank you.
Thank you.
I would like to know, how did the both of you know that she was the one? Like, what gave y'all the confirmation, like, yep, that's it, that's a wrap?
I'll say for me, it was like some of the conversations that we had, just like, I just loved her intellect. And then I loved how much fun we had together. Like, it was just easy. You know how you meet people and sometimes stuff just makes sense. And you just like, dang, like, should it be this way? You having a conversation, you like, dang, that could be my partner in crime, you feel me? So I don't know. I just felt like a lot of it came off of just the vibe. Like, I just love the vibe. Like, even when we was just cool, like, I'm like, dang, what you doing? Like, you want to come kick it? Like, you want me to come kick it? Like, let's go do something. Like, what you and Kiki doing? Let me slide through. Like, y'all come over here. Like, I was always finding myself like, I just really want to hang out. So let's do it. And then I was just like, dang, your girl might be in love. Come on, sit down.
It's hard for me to pinpoint a moment, because if anybody who knows me know that I felt like I knew early on. Like, I knew, I was like, we're gonna be married. I felt that way. And so I think it was a lot of, as personality, like, y'all, I am a very, I don't know what's the best word to describe it, but Eb is such a calm, like, happy person. Like, when I met Eb, like, she was like happy every single day, like all day. She's just positive about everything, just positive about life, and just, she's so supportive, and she just like a ray of sunshine in your life, like, and then she treats you, she treats me better than anyone in my life has ever treated me. So it's like the little things that turn into the big things. You finally feel like you're seen as a person. You're not just like, getting overlooked. So I can't pinpoint like a moment for y'all. All right, so it says, hopefully I'm not too late. You're not. My questions are, was there an instant connection when you first met? Were you both into feminine women? Into feminine women, I would say yes, I am into feminine women, obviously. But I have dated more tomboy women. And we do have a great connection. Was it instant?
I wouldn't say it was something that you just had to grow.
Yeah. Okay. You go.
This question has several different parts, so I'm going to do them a part at a time. That way we can just answer it and then move on. How has your love grown and changed over time?
I think it's always growing and it's always evolving. So I think change, like the love has stayed the same, but it's always growing. We're always learning more ways to love each other and stay, connected.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's definitely blossomed. Just like we've had different stages of growth throughout this, but I think even in the darkest times, it's still been special. Like, it's stuff that we can look back on, stuff that we've learned that allowed us to be where we are right now. And I feel like as time goes on, we'll face more obstacles, have more fun, things like that, and it's just gonna keep on getting better and stronger.
Agree.
You have something in my eye.
Your hair.
Is there a specific part of the wedding you think back on often? Man, just the whole thing, man. Like, it's crazy. I just still feel like, and I've seen the video like a couple times, and it's just like crazy to me. Like, first of all, I don't know. I feel like I was like in a fairy tale. Like, it was something that I felt like, I don't know, it's the best experience of my life. It was one of those days where, like, if I look back, I had so much fun. Everything was so beautiful. It was everything that I imagined that it would and could be. And I'm just very grateful that we got to share that type of moment together. And it's on tape, so we can always look back at it.
Yeah. I would say a part that I just think back on just randomly. Because some of it is a blur. It was such a long day. But part of that I think back on all the time is like when we first saw each other, like coming out, because like I was like freaking out a little bit, and
we saw each other from across the room. So like we saw each other right when we got to the door on both sides, and like I was able to kind of just like take a deep breath.
Down. I was just like, it made it easier. Like when I first saw her, and then when we saw each other, I was just like, okay, like.
You good, boss?
I'm good. So that's the part that I always think back about.
What do you think your parenting styles will be, and how do you think having kids will change the dynamic of your relationship? That's a great question.
For me, it's hard to say my parenting style. I grew up in a very authoritative household, and so although we are both teachers, I used to be a teacher, and we both have that in us, and we're going to make sure that we have a lot of discipline in our house. I still want to have a lot of openness, so I can't really say like I know the type of parent I want to be, but it'll evolve as the child grows. So that's all I can really say.
And I'll just say, just from working with kids, I feel like different kids need different things. So you can't just say like off top, like I know that I want to do this, because you don't know what kind of kid you're going to have. So certain kids need certain things, and we'll adapt to whatever we're blessed with. So you just got to wait to see. So like everybody has an idea of how you want things to go in life, but you never know. Whether it's from kids, marriage, relationships, friendships, you never know. So like it's just one of those things you have to take everything day by day, learn, and then get better.
So like some kids need more discipline. Some kids just need a little bit more attention. You just never know.
Yeah.
How do we think will change the dynamic of our relationship? We know a kid's going to change it. We don't know how. We are going to continue to have date nights and go on trips, just the two of us. Maybe not right away, but we're going to continue those things because we know it will change, but we want those things to still be there. And I think that kind of answers the next question about how you keep the spice going. We keep date nights. This question.
What advice can you give to married couples, singles, and those who are not intending to even come out?
I'll say this, and y'all might say that's harsh for me to say, but for a couple, if people are not intended to come out, really, really evaluate that, because that's hard. It's really hard for both people involved in that. So I would say you just need to really evaluate that, because that's not an easy life to be. For singles who's not intending to come out, again, really evaluate that, because you need to think about the person that you're trying to be with and how it affects not only your life but their life also. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
Yeah, because it's easy to say that you like somebody, but until you face with like, okay, crap, like we really in this, I really like you, I care about you, but it's no way to be with somebody without coming out, without thinking further. And I think that's where I messed up. Like I knew that I liked her, but I had never thought past the part of like letting her know. So like what comes with it? Like you don't think that far ahead. Like, well, I told my friend, that's good enough, right? It's not. And so you don't think that far, because I think just as young people, we don't even think that relationships are even, like you're gonna be with somebody, but we're just gonna talk for a while, we're gonna kick it, it's gonna be fun. You don't think to like have marriage or like a long-term relationship as the end all be all, and all of those things come with transparency, whether it's from you guys but from the people that are around you, and being okay with who you are. So like, just speaking out of trying to help my next person that needs to get there, think about those things before you involve somebody else's feelings, because I didn't think about how it would make her feel. At first I only thought about like, this is what I want, and it's selfish, like, and it took therapy and her and conversations to make me realize, like, even though I'm hurt, I'm hurting her. Like I'm not thinking about like, hey, how this is going to affect her. The decisions, I felt like the hardest part was for me, because I had to try to be okay with who I am, but also too, she already knows who she is. She knows that she likes me, but then I'm not giving her any hope for a future, but I'm still continuing to be in her space.
So because think about it, like can you really have a future with somebody who's not out? Like if you are out, can you really have a future with them? So the next question on here, we kind of answered all of these questions, so I'm just going straight to the last one. It said, T, how long did you teach and why did you stop teaching? Because we answered everything on it. One question we didn't answer. Do we still have any close friends or family who still doesn't accept or respect your marriage? Yes, we do. And we really don't have any communication with them. That's how we handle that. Because they aren't close if they can't respect or accept our marriage. Okay. I taught for almost 4 years, so 3.5 years. I was a great teacher.
She was.
I actually, ended teaching. I was a team lead. I loved my last, my coworkers were all still in contact. I stopped teaching for my personal reasons. I loved my students, but I was really, really invested into a lot of their lives. And it like, as someone who I feel like I'm kind of an empath, it takes a toll on you when you're feeding off of their emotions and what happens in their lives. And also, being an English teacher is hard, y'all, especially when all of the kids that you are teaching do not speak English. Being an English teacher anywhere is hard, but when a lot of the kids you're teaching don't speak English, it's even harder. It puts a lot of stress on you. And then when I went and got my graduate degree, I got my MBA, and I wanted to see what else was out there. You know, like teaching was never supposed to be lifelong for me. It was supposed to be short term, and I got comfortable in teaching. So I felt like at the moment when I left, I had to leave or I would have got stuck there. And I'm glad that I did, because the job that I had right out of teaching, I loved it. It was amazing. So because I did go into corporate, and so that was, you know, a great experience for me. I'm glad that I did that. I'm glad that I didn't stay comfortable in teaching, because you get comfortable with having weekends and holidays and summers and all that, but you also, you know, knowing that I wanted to make more money and do other things, and there's this whole creative side of me that wasn't being fulfilled as a teacher, I couldn't stay. And you know, I feel like kids deserve a teacher who 100% wants to be there, is all in for them, and I wasn't there. So I wasn't that, even though my students never knew that. You know, I was a good teacher to them, but mentally for me, I wasn't there, so I had to leave. I left on my own. I did leave on my own. We already did that. Said that one twice. Okay, so we did have a few questions from Instagram. So that was all the questions on the community tab, and then we had a few on the Instagram that y'all sent. So let me pull those up real quick. Y'all asked a lot of like serious questions. Y'all ain't asked nothing fun. I'm just kidding, y'all. I know y'all. I mean, y'all asked a lot of heartfelt questions.
They were good questions. I was actually like, when we were going through reading them when y'all first did them, I was like, we actually gonna have to spit some real stuff when we talking. These some good questions, so keep them coming. I like them. We want to get to know y'all, but you can get to know us too.
Yeah, so, definitely.
Ask us the questions, and we are willing to answer.
Looking at the questions on here, there's only two. I think that we didn't answer. Which was, what is our biggest challenge? And well, it said, when are you having a baby? So I guess everybody keep asking, are we still having kids? But somebody asked, when are we having a baby? And it says, what is the best part of being married that you didn't see prior to being married? We answered, how did we meet? And we answered the thing we like about each other. That's not a question, it was just a comment. We already answered what's our favorite thing about each other. And what is our biggest challenge? Okay. So we'll go to, when are we having a baby? When the Lord says we are.
Yeah, we don't get to choose that.
We don't really get to decide that.
We don't have a choice.
You know, we'll keep y'all updated, but it's not like I can go tomorrow and be like, woo, I want to be pregnant. Boom. Baby. You know? Because if it was up to me, I would, even though I want to experience being pregnant, I would just go right to baby. Hey, little baby. Yeah. So whenever the Lord says, what is the best part of marriage that we didn't see?
The best part of marriage
that we didn't see before being married. What is the best part of being married that you didn't see prior to being married?
That I didn't see?
Yeah. What's the best part of being married that you didn't think would be the best part of being married? I don't know.
It's all, I mean, like I said, it's all fun.
I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
You're making me feel like I'm not very smart.
I don't know neither. I mean, I always say,
I'm gonna say, ask me this question. Ask me this question in like 6 more months.
Like, yeah, like after a year or two of being married. We've been married like not even 6 months yet.
And we just now being able to get back outside. Like, I mean, like we said, we've been inside.
I mean, I know the best thing about being married, I have my partner in crime with me all the time, but I had her before, so that's not something that I didn't see. So I'm trying to think of like something that I didn't see.
Yeah, ask me in 6 months.
So ask me in a year. So
that we can have a little time, you know, to have some experiences and some things happen. Because, I mean, so far, I mean, we've done a few things, but, I mean, mostly we've been to work. I mean, and everything else is the same. So, yeah.
Give me a year. Ask me in another year.
Yeah.
Next summer, I got an answer for you. What is your biggest challenge? So, like in our relationship, or like what is my biggest challenge and what is her biggest challenge?
Like from right now or like the whole time? If I say the whole time, I'll say it's me not being out at the beginning. That was the biggest challenge I feel like for me for sure. That we've had. Other than that, I feel like once we got past that obstacle, we've been pretty good. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the biggest challenge we've really had. Just making sure we communicate. We try to always make sure that we communicate. We're just making sure you keep communication.
And maybe me forgetting stuff if we want to speak about right now. She hates it, but I can't. I struggle with remembering things. So
let's not even talk about it. All right. Someone said, "Love y'all's YouTube." Thank you.
Thank you.
When will y'all do more challenges? We've been doing more challenges since you've asked that question. So, and we will do more. We just it's like we never know which challenges to do. But I'm gonna write down a list of challenges. Like some of y'all commented some challenges, so we're gonna get y'all some more challenges. Promise. The one challenge I really want us to do, we won't do. I'm sorry. We're not doing a no hands kissing challenge. I think that's it, y'all. Why do they call you T?
Oh, this is
why
a good
do
one.
they call you T? Why do they call me T, babe?
Because the first name start with a T.
My first name starts with a T. Caprice is my middle name.
I always forget that she has her
channel name is Caprice.
Yeah. So then when I call her T, then I know that some people come in the comments and they call her Caprice, and I'm like,
You feel free to call me Caprice or T. People call me both. People call me Caprice. People call me T. People don't call me by my first name unless they know me, because I don't like for people to mispronounce it.
Just keep it at
Yes, because people mispronounce all the time and it bugs me, so Caprice is easy. Nobody has mispronounced Caprice. Or T. You can't mispronounce one letter. So, yeah, I think that's it, y'all. We answered all of your questions.
Thanks for giving us the Q&A. Y'all
Y'all can get us some questions. Like, if
it
was great. If y'all have more questions, y'all can comment them down below. We can always do a part 2. Do not ask the same questions. If you want us to elaborate on something, fine. But do not ask us the same questions. Every time somebody asks a question, now that we've answered all these questions, I'm going to just link this down below. Thank you. But if you have not already, make sure that you are subscribed.
And hit that bell if you
comment. Is there anything that you assumed or you got right, you got wrong, whatever? And then, yeah, like this video. We'll see y'all on the next one.
Peace.